Welcome to RAN Learning English. This is a special compilation of simple, engaging, and easy-to-follow stories designed to help you learn and improve your English. Each story focuses on real-life situations, clear vocabulary, and practical language skills. What you'll find? Real-life stories situations you can relate to. Useful phrases, learn sentences for everyday use. Simple vocabulary, easy words to expand your knowledge. Short and sweet, each story is short but effective. Why these stories? Stories are a fun and powerful way to learn English. They help you understand context, practice repetition, learn grammar naturally. Let's begin. Enjoy these stories. Read aloud and repeat often. Each small step will take you closer to becoming confident in English.
Last Saturday, I decided to try something new. A cooking challenge. I had watched several cooking shows and felt inspired. I wanted to create a delicious dinner for my family. I gathered my ingredients, fresh vegetables, chicken, and spices. I put on my apron and turned on some upbeat music to set the mood. I felt excited as I began to chop the vegetables. While cooking, I accidentally spilled some olive oil on the floor. I laughed at myself, knowing I needed to be more careful. After cleaning up, I returned to the stove, focusing on my task. As the chicken sizzled in the pan, I mixed the vegetables in a separate bowl. I wanted to make a colorful stir-fry. The aroma filled the kitchen, making my mouth water. After about an hour, I plated the food beautifully. I felt proud of what I had created. I called my family to the table, eager to share my meal. When they arrived, their eyes lit up at the sight of the colorful dishes. We sat down and I served everyone. As we ate, they complimented my cooking, which made me feel even happier. The dinner turned out to be a success. We laughed and shared stories, enjoying the food together. I realized that cooking could be a fun way to bring my family closer. After dinner, I promised myself to keep experimenting in the kitchen. I wanted to discover more recipes and flavors.
Yesterday, I had a very busy day at work. I work at a small office, and I usually enjoy my job, but sometimes things get hectic. I arrived at the office early, around 8:30 a.m., with my coffee in hand, ready to start the day. As soon as I sat down at my desk, I saw my inbox was full of emails. There were messages from my boss, clients, and colleagues, all needing something. I took a deep breath and started answering them one by one. I knew it was going to be a long day. By mid-morning, I had a meeting with my team. We discussed our latest project, shared ideas, and made plans for the upcoming week. The meeting lasted longer than expected, and by the time it was over, I felt a little overwhelmed. I still had so much work to do. At lunchtime, I decided to take a short break. I went outside, took a walk, and grabbed a quick sandwich. The fresh air helped me relax and recharge for the rest of the afternoon. When I got back to the office, I tackled my to-do list again. There were reports to finish, calls to make, and documents to review. The hours flew by, and before I knew it, it was already 6 p.m. I had finally completed everything I needed to do. I left the office feeling tired, but also proud of myself. It had been a busy day, but I managed to get everything done. When I got home, I relaxed, had dinner, and watched a movie before going to bed, ready for another day.
This morning, I woke up feeling worse than ever. My throat was sore, my head was pounding, and my body ached all over. I knew I needed to get medicine, so I reluctantly got out of bed and got dressed. My whole body felt heavy as I walked to the pharmacy, braving the cold, damp weather outside. When I arrived, the warmth inside the pharmacy was a welcome relief. The familiar smell of clean aisles and medicine filled the air as I made my way to the cold and flu section. The shelves were lined with various products, all promising to relieve the discomfort I was feeling. My eyes scanned each label carefully. Then I picked up some throat lozenges to soothe my irritated throat. I reached for a bottle of cough syrup first, my fingers trembling slightly as I held it. I noticed a box of tissues on the shelf and grabbed that too. I stood there for a moment, trying to make sure I hadn't forgotten anything important. The weight of the items in my hands made me realize just how exhausted I was. I walked over to the counter, moving slowly, feeling every step. I placed my things on the counter and reached into my pocket for my wallet. The cashier silently rang up my items as I paid, and I quickly packed them into a small plastic bag. As I walked back outside, the cold wind hit me again, making me shiver. My pace quickened, eager to get home and rest. The short walk felt like miles in my current state, but I kept going, focusing on the thought of relief once I took the medicine. Finally, I reached my apartment, stepped inside, and sighed with relief. I placed the bag on the kitchen table, took the cough syrup as instructed, and collapsed onto the couch. I was exhausted, but at least I had everything I needed to start feeling better. All that was left now was to rest and let the medicine do its work.
Mia wakes up early every day. She gets out of bed and goes to the bathroom. She brushes her teeth and washes her face. Then, she goes back to her room and puts on her clothes. Next, Mia goes to the kitchen. She eats breakfast. Today, she has cereal and milk. After breakfast, she packs her bag for school. She puts in her books, notebooks, and a pencil. Mia walks to school. On the way, she sees birds and trees. She likes walking because it is peaceful. When she gets to school, she sees her friends and smiles. In class, Mia listens to her teacher. They learn new words in English. She writes the words in her notebook. Mia likes learning new words. At break time, she plays with her friends in the schoolyard. They play tag and laugh a lot. After school, Mia goes home. She takes off her shoes and puts on her slippers. She eats a snack, like an apple or some cookies. Then, she does her homework. She reads a story and writes a few sentences. In the evening, Mia helps her mom make dinner. They cook rice and vegetables. Mia sets the table with plates, forks, and spoons. They eat dinner together and talk about their day. After dinner, Mia watches a little TV. She likes cartoons. Before bed, She takes a shower and puts on her pajamas. She reads a book in bed. Her mom comes to say goodnight and gives her a hug. Mia feels happy and safe. She closes her eyes and goes to sleep.
I woke up early, feeling excited for my beach trip. The sun was shining brightly, and the sky was clear. After packing my bag with sunscreen, a towel, and a book, I headed out. When I arrived, the sound of the waves was soothing. The beach wasn't too crowded, so I found a nice, quiet spot. I spread out my towel and sat down, feeling the warm sand beneath me. After a few minutes of reading, I couldn't resist the ocean anymore. I stood up and ran into the water. The first splash of cold waves on my feet made me gasp, but I quickly got used to it. I swam for a while, enjoying the cool water. After drying off, I sat back on my towel and ate the snacks I had packed. The seagulls hovered overhead, hoping for some crumbs. I watched people play volleyball and kids building sandcastles. Time passed quickly, and soon, the sky turned shades of pink and orange as the sun began to set. As I packed up my things, I felt a sense of peace. The day had been perfect, filled with sunshine, laughter, and the calming sound of the ocean. Walking home, I thought about how wonderful it is to spend a quiet day at the beach, far from the rush of daily life.